Okay.
Yeah.
There.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So very good. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So did you get the stuff about this afternoon's Hangouts?
Yeah.
Okay. Some people have already put in their question and the context. So if you could do that, I don't anticipate that it's going to take all 45 minutes. But again, we talked about this yesterday. Just if everybody could kind of take a look at everybody else's questions and then maybe give each other some feedback, and we'll see what kind of chaos ensues with 15, 16 people in a hangout. We'll just see what that looks like.
Yeah.
All right. So since we talked yesterday, what has been new?
Well, I did some research. I think I'm going to focus on the scientific lens.
Okay.
So I did some research on the scientific lens and just how stimulant medications affect the brain, and a lot of the concerns that people have about if they're addictive, if they have long-term effects. So I was looking on just kind of the scientific end of how those ADHD stimulant medications affect the brain and the effects they have on a child.
So what's been the most surprising thing you've come across there?
Well, one kind of statistic that I found is that stimulant medications have a positive effect on 80% of kids that use them, which doesn't it seems good, but not that good. But there's no other medication for a psychiatric condition that has that great of a response rate.
So
it has
80% is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So.
Yeah, and I think.
Go ahead, Riley.
I think that we are going to do. Maggie is going to do the scientific lens, and then I'll do the cultural lens, and Ava will do the political and historical lens. And we can talk through the political and historical lens. Ava can talk about the different laws and different regulations that there are in place relating to ADHD and the medication and the age and different things like that. And maybe how it's diagnosed,
okay,
which Maggie can talk about as well. And then for the cultural lens, I can talk about the different methods of treating ADHD, whether it is through medication or different natural methods or therapies like that.
Right.
But I think that is sort of the track that we're going to go on with our individual papers.
Okay. Are there any lenses? I think we've talked about this a little bit. Are there any lenses you think that maybe you're not going to focus on? Oh, Ava, you're sideways.
Hi.
She's in the hospital.
Oh, Ava's in the hospital. Ava, you're
how are you doing?
Ava must be on the equator. That's why she's sideways. Can you? There you go. Hi, Ava.
Ava, how are you doing?
Good. I'm doing home soon.
Yay!
All right.
That's good.
All right. All right. Right on.
She got her tonsils out.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, the news is Dr. 11 is here videotaping us do this, just by the way. That's our other group member. Yeah.
Oh, so Ava quickly checks out. Oh, well, anyway. There you are. Well, anyway. Back to my question before Ava jumped in and showed up. It's good to see Ava, by the way. Are there any of the lenses that you think should be part of your team presentation that maybe you're not going to get to in one of the papers, like in one of your individual papers?
Probably the ethical. We'll definitely, each of us, I think, will be able to touch on the ethical lens through each of our papers. But then in the group presentation, I think that we will focus on that quite a bit, just because I think that our research question is going to sort of surround whether or not it's ethical and whether or not it should be done ethically, and maybe effectiveness, which has to do with the scientific lens. But I think that we'll definitely talk about the ethical lens quite a bit in our presentation.
So
Were you doing futuristic? Or what were you doing?
Cultural.
Okay, maybe futuristic too. I think futuristic could go in with the scientific, like talking about the scientific progresses that are being made. But I think like maybe we'll do more futuristic in the presentation.
okay. Are there any you think are not going to be helpful or supportive at all?
Yeah, like economics. I don't think we are going to focus on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more beneficial. I think it's going to be like more strongly support our claim and our research question if we go into the other lenses. I don't think economic has a huge impact on what our research question is going to be about.
Yeah.
So I think that we'll probably not focus on that as much. We'll definitely, we might talk about some of the statistics having to do with the economic side of it, but we probably won't go that into depth because it doesn't really relate to the research question that we were thinking we were going to use.
Okay. Well, it sounds like since yesterday, you've made some good progress and found out some other things. I think this afternoon will be good for. I don't necessarily. You don't need to go into detail with the entire group, but to kind of lay your question out there, let them see what it's about. Let them bombard it with some questions of their own, and then put your question in the context, like why you're interested in it. Okay. Okay. Well, any other questions right now?
I don't think so.
Before he leaves, hello. I'm Heidi. I'm with Carol Evans.
Hi, Heidi.
Before you leave, can I interview you just a couple quick questions just through the computer?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Can I get one of your mics to put just over by here? Thank you.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And then I just need some. Yeah. Okay. Right here. Alright, great. Ready?
Ava, are you going to be back in school on Monday?
Hopefully.
Okay.
So I didn't set back my healing that much, only a little bit on one side.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will affect how long it's gonna take.
Okay.
So hopefully I will.
Yeah. Well, I hope so too. It's no fun to have your tonsils out. Henry had his out when he was 5 or 6, and as a parent that was tough to watch. So. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's too bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I hope you feel better. I'm like, you're committed. I mean, in the hospital doing work. First, can you say and spell your first last name? Who you are?
My name is Mark Peterson, MarkPeterson.
Perfect. And then who are you?
I teach biology and biomedical science at Bindle St. Margaret's School.
All right, great. How has it been this week just with the Google Hangouts you've been doing?
I'd rather talk to people face to face, but the Google Hangouts have been kind of the second best, I guess. I've been able to touch base with all of the groups in both of these classes. And just keep them on track and check in with how they're doing, help them overcome any obstacles. So those connections have been good.
What has a typical day looked like for you during this time when you've been off from school, just meeting with kids?
Yeah.
Beyond?
So for typically what I've done is in the morning I've kind of gotten my biology classes. I've gotten their work online and taken care of that. And then starting at about 12:20 until almost 4 the past 2 days, I've been meeting with students. I think my longest hangout was about 17 minutes, but they've been typically from 10 to 15 minutes, about every 20 minutes. So I set up a spreadsheet that the students could sign up, make an appointment, and that's kind of how the afternoon is run.
Okay. Have you noticed, how long have you been doing this? Do you know how many years you've been doing it?
Have I been doing Google Hangouts with students?
Yeah.
How about 2 days?
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is the first time?
This is, to the best of my knowledge, from the information the students gave me, this is the first time they've done Google Hangouts, and you could ask those ladies there, but for them, I think every group that I asked, they hadn't done a Google Hangout before. I've used Google Hangouts in professional development for 5 or 6 years now. So I've been doing this, with other teachers, off and on, with local teachers, with teachers on the coasts. I had a Google Hangout with a pal who's teaching science in Seoul, Korea. She actually we presented at a science conference while she was in Seoul. So I've been using Google Hangouts for quite a while.
Okay. And you said it's helpful, I know they've been doing some online work, but helpful just to have some sort of contact for questions. And is it faster than if you were doing it like via chat or something?
Well, first of all, I don't type that well. So it's better to just talk to people. You can read their faces. And that has been, I know that they are very adept and they have their own little text message groups, but I like being able to talk to my students face to face.
Yeah, great. Okay, perfect. Anything else you'd like to say?
I'm looking forward to 45 on Sunday. I think I'll probably wear shorts outside.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Very good.
I need to. You're good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. We'll talk to you later, ladies.
Bye.
All right. Good to see you, Ava.
Bye.